that was good fun.
This story begins in London. I had a job to shoot yesterday at Truefitting Hill in St James. I stayed over in the world's worst hotel. Awful, man. Dreadful. It's like sleeping in a jail cell. Anyway, so I've woke up in this hotel room in Piccadilly Circus in London, and I will go to sleep tonight in the back of my van in a car park in Mallaig. The plan is that tomorrow morning we are hiking 18 miles from Kinloch Hourn to the Old Forge pub in Inverie to photograph the most remote pint of Tennents on mainland Britain. I'm getting the train back up the road this afternoon. I'm going to go and meet Joe. Joe was in a previous film, the Behind the Wild film, and then him and I are heading to Mallaig. So all in all, I will get to our destination probably about midnight tonight.
Let's do it.
How you feeling, Joseph?
Tired.
You're tired?
Tired already, aye.
Jesus.
This is my bedtime.
That's not a good start.
Ready to go though. It is 9:22 on Friday night. We are flying. We have just left Barrisdale services. We are en route to Mallaig. 3 hours to go until we can get our head down for the night. The van. I am long past my bedtime. Things I do for Greg. I'm normally in my bed, tucked up at this moment in time, the joys of having kids. I've got my coffee in hand, ready to see me through to Mallaig as we head up to D9 to begin our journey, our long weekend journey to Pint at Tennents. Not bad for a guy that doesn't drink, eh?
So, before we go any further, I better tell you about the Old Forge. The Old Forge is a community-owned pub in Inverie on the Knoydart Peninsula, and it is widely considered to be the most remote mainland pub in the UK. It can only be reached by an 18-mile hike over remote terrain or a 7-mile sea crossing from Mallaig. So this is my bed for this evening. We've pulled up at Mallaig. I'm keeping my voice down because Joe's sleeping in the van next to me. But what a lovely, this will be beautiful to wake up to in the morning.
So, we made it. We're in Mallaig, as you can see out my passenger side window and the windscreen there. Just we are here. We're all parked up for the evening. It's currently 25 minutes past midnight. I'm about to get my head down. Greg's all tucked up in his sleeping bag in the back of his van. And yeah, gonna be up in a few hours time, aiming to be for 5 o'clock. And Greg's just set his Greg's just set his alarm off, so that'll be us pissing off the residents. We yes, so back to where we were at. We were going to be up at 5 o'clock, away from here by 5:30, all the way to Kinloch Hourn to begin our hike for this wonderful pint of Tennents. I hope it's going to be worth it. I'm sure it will be. Fingers crossed the weather's going to be dry. But yeah, I'm off to get my head down now and try and get some much needed rest before a long day tomorrow. So we will catch you all later on. Wow.
Morning, brother. Was that rough? You should have slept in the back. Mate, I tell you what, man, your old dad was out.
Was it?
How beautiful is that for the morning? It's just mental, right? So I know, mate, it's going to be wild. This time yesterday, I was in that hotel room in London, right, and I walked out onto the busiest place in the world. Piccadilly Circus, right, so it's just a million folk just all buzzing about, to then this. And all you can hear is just like a playful water. Do you want a cup of coffee? Right, okay, mate, let's do it. That was a reasonable sleep in the van last night. So, woken up, managed to get a wee cup of coffee, and Joe's just parking up his van just now, and then we're going to head round to Kinloch Hourn. I've never been to Kinloch Hourn, so I don't really know what the situation is going to be as far as the road, which is why we're taking the smaller van and Joe's leaving his big van. But yeah, we're going to head round here. It looks like it's clear, but the midges are out in force, and it's not even 6 o'clock in the morning yet, so it does not bode well. However, we'll get in about it. So yeah, time to walk 18 miles for a pint of lager. So we had a look on the map there, just to get a route from Mallaig to Kinloch Hourn, and it said there's a road closure that we didn't know about. So that may have thrown a spanner in the works. We're going to go round, we're going to have a look. If we can't get through, the plan is we're going to go back to Mallaig, maybe get a wee roll, and then we're just going to get the ferry across, and then we will have to just try and mould what it is that we do. But as with every single one of these short behind the scenes films, there is always a spanner, maybe even two, that gets thrown into the mix, and it's just you've kind of got to adapt it. We're nearly at Loch Leven, I believe it's called. I can't remember, it might be Rag. If so, I'll put it underneath here what the real name is. But this is where I filmed the Bialach Gin story. The girls from Bialach Gin, they kind of live in this general area. Bialach meaning mountain pass, and the mountain pass is where it was a safe passage between the mountains. Obviously this is a very a difficult area to traverse on foot, but that mountain pass gave people the opportunity to move through safely, and that is why the gin is also called Bialach. This is the beauty of Scotland. 2 minutes ago it was absolute, the sun was splitting the skies, we're looking down at beautiful lochs with like mirror reflection on it, and then you just drive into this pea soup fog. Let's go to the pub. Right, so that's us on our way to Inverie. It's now, what is it, Joe, about 8 o'clock, half 8 or something?
8:30.
It's 8:30 in the morning. The sun is out. There is not a soul around. There is barely a noise. The next in a bit for us is Barrisdale, which is further on down the coast here. Like I was saying, it's probably going to take us between 8 and 10 hours to get there. However, we've got dinner booked at 7 o'clock tonight. Joe has had a look at the menu, and is particularly enthusiastic about several haggis bonbons.
Yes.
The plan is we're going to get to the old forge, and we're going to get 4 pints and
Why 4?
what do you mean why 4? Why 4 pints of Tennents?
Yeah.
2 each, mate.
No. Me thinking there's an elaborate plan for shooting.
No, there is. So
And,
essentially
right, okay.
what the plan is, it's just that we will get 4 because you've got to sub them in. So what if we put one out in the sun for too long and it comes down, then you've got to then replace it. It means we can fizz one up,
Right.
while one's in, and then 2 each.
See, there is an elaborate plan.
Yep.
There we are.
Anyway, we'll catch you soon.
I've got a thing. How many people, now that we're walking along here now and seeing what type of terrain we've got, how many folk do you think we're going to see between here and Inverie?
Right, okay, we're making this a bet.
Oh, we can do if you want, aye.
What will we bet, Bevy?
Aye.
Right, okay. I think between here and the pub in Inverie, we're probably looking at 3 people.
3 people.
3 people.
I'm going to go for 5.
5?
I'll go 5. I've won the bet! Yeah, Greg, I've won the bet! I win. Group of 5 folk ahead of us. Oh, unbelievable. What a great way to end your first bit of the climb. Got our first decent climb out the way there. We are doing not too bad. Feeling for Greg a wee bit, he's just got to the top of that climb there. He's carrying a lot of kit, so he's got quite a heavy bag. Hopefully maybe get the lion's share of this over with before the rain's supposed to come in about 3 o'clock. So, but we're doing good so far. Big man's just taking a break at the top of the hill. I don't know if you can maybe catch him in the back of this, but yeah, we will catch you with another update shortly. Five and a half mile in, how are we feeling?
Okay now, mate. Hopefully that's the worst it's done. However, I fear that this next bit that we've got to get to is not going to be too saucy. I think it might be a difficult climb. However, we shall persevere and get the job done. So that's what we do.
Thankfully the temperature's cooled down a bit, which is nice. A bit more overcast. But the views round this this bay, Barrisdale Bay, it's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, it's one of the nicest bays I've seen.
I'll let you take a look.
That's outstanding. These places are a godsend.
Oh, tell me about it. It's the first time I've ever been in one.
Is that really?
Yeah, genuinely, man.
I suppose, see earlier on I was saying that my original plan had been for us to do this as like a group of like 5 or 6 or something. What I'm kind of thinking is now that having now like been through this so far, and it's not wild, it's just carrying that big thing has made things a bit more difficult. However, if we'd have done this with 6 people, the chances of something going wrong are increased. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas the 2 of us, we can take it real slow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not exactly an athlete. My days have been able to. I mean, I sweat whilst cutting a fish supper. Do you know what I mean?
So we've just not long left the the bothy at Barrisdale. We are now on our ascent before we descend into the glen and make our way into Inverie. Inverie. Greg thinks it's Inverie. I'm going Inverie. You guys can decide if the pronunciation is correct and who's right, who's wrong. We're 7.5 miles in, 4 hours 19 minutes on the clock. Not too bad with a couple of stops, making good time. It's a nice flat section just before the bothy, which allowed us to make up some good time. Things are looking good, weather's staying dry. Hopefully make some good time before and get some footage shot in this glen before the rain makes its way in at 3 o'clock. Expected to be showery at 3, so hopefully not too bad. So we are now just shy 8.5 miles in. 8.5 miles. This last couple of miles has been absolutely brutal. It's just all been climbing from the bothy. A full climb at best part of 1,300 feet. We are trudging on. Greg is trudging on in the background here. As you can see him there, coming up the hill. He's taking regular breaks. But roughly there that road is, as you can maybe make out along here. That's where we've climbed from. A bit of sea level climb, and then we're around here, just around about this area here is where we are going to be going. Hopefully in this glen we get some nice shots, but we're just trudging on. It's been tough so far, feeling it, and I think we're only just over halfway, so hoping we can make up some good time, and we will we'll see you in the glen. So we finally made it to the top, Greg.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was brutal.
That was really difficult, man. A lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, 100%. But we have a cracking view all the way down now to Inverie, and thankfully it looks like we've got no more ascents. That was nearly fun. We're on the home stretch. Run me through your thoughts, what you had in mind, and then what you're maybe going to have in place of it.
So, the original plan was to get the drone up sort of periodically throughout the walk. However, by the time we got to the top of that mountain, the wind was quite high, there was a lot of folk around, it just wasn't safe. When I got to the bottom of the hill, the rain's come on, I'm ready for my pint of lager. Yeah, it's kind of that, the last stretch, and the wee niggling injuries from years and years ago are all starting to sort of flare up a wee bit, but we're nearly there.
So your plan B then, so if you're obviously not putting the drone up to get the additional drone shots, what is it does that alter your thought process or your final video, or what you're thinking you had in your head, or?
No, because we've shot a couple of bits of B-roll where it kind of shows, we were up a mountain so the elevation was higher, so it's essentially we've got that shot showing the vastness of the landscape.
Sounds good.
And that's that. So we're, as I said, on the home straight. Now I'm sort of choking it. Yeah, sit down and a pint of Tennents from there.
And some haggis bonbons.
Aye, some bonbons, aye.
Bonbons. to the campsite. Thank the Lord. And just what we need. Delightful rain for putting up a tent. Next stop, the Old Forge pub.
After putting up our tents and a quick change, we arrived at the Old Forge for a much needed rest and something to eat. And the rain stopped just in time for Joe and I to get the shots that we needed. Because I had to carry everything over such a distance, I had a limited amount of kit with me. Just my Nikon Z7 Mark II, a Sigma 70x200, a Sigma Art 50mm 1.4, a Sony FX3 with a 35mm 1.8. This meant I had to be creative with the available light and lean into the composition and colour palette. After being fed, watered, and the evening shoot completed, we headed back to the campsite and sat round the fire before heading to bed. In the morning, I got up and shot some unplanned images, then we headed home. This was a very challenging project. To be honest, I underestimated the physical toll it would take on me. However, I'm really pleased with the end results. Here is the short promo video, Trail.